during the event.
Almost 5 o'clock, so I think we can get started. So good evening, everyone, and let me introduce myself first. So I'm Dr. A. Chang Wu, the program officer from SEAOHUN, and I will be the moderator for today's session. So thank you for joining our very first virtual community of practice webinar topic 1, which is One Health Career and Professional Development. In this webinar, there will be a panel discussion by the successful One Health professionals in the region to share their experience and their advices to build One Health career path and the professional development. So before we start, let me go through some housekeeping rules. So here, so you are requested to keep your microphone muted throughout the webinar, and then to turn on the closed captioning of the live transcription. You can click on the show caption button below the screen. And for Q&A, please use the chat button to add the questions. And in your question, please include the panelist name that you want to ask the question to. If not, the question will be directed to one of the panelists as relevant. And please be informed that we are recording this session, and we will post the recording to our website and the YouTube channel later, so you can share or rewatch again with your friends who could not join the session. So lastly, in the chat box, we have dropped the link to download the agenda and the Zoom background if you haven't downloaded yet. So in a few minutes after the opening, we will have a group photo session. So please change the Zoom background if you are comfortable to open your camera and then get photo taken. Thank you so much for that. So moving forward to the next agenda, please let me invite Dr. Vipak Ruchitan, Executive Director of SEAOHUN, to convey the welcoming remark.
All right, so warmly welcome everyone to the first webinar, virtual community of practices that we intend to gather the students from our member countries together to learn about certain One Health topic. This year, we're excited to form that, trying to cater the sessions to get you ready for the world of work. How you can hit the ground and running after you graduated from an obtaining the degree related to One Health. So my name is Vipak Ruchitan. I'm in charge of the SEAOHUN Secretariat Office, Southeast Asia One Health University Secretariat Office based in Chiang Mai, Thailand. Let me brief, since we're gonna pair up and just give my own introduction. So I have over 15 years of experiences working in international organizations such as the United Nations Development Program, World Health Organization. I work with US government agencies, Center for Disease Control and Prevention, Minnesota Department of Health at the state level, as well as the federal level. In the Thai government, including Ministry of Public Health, international NGO, I work with Marilyn Consortium, which is headquartered based in the United Kingdom, as well as the regional organization of the SEAMEO, Southeast Asian Ministerial Education Organization, Regional Center for Higher Education. And now I'm here with the Southeast Asia One Health University Network. So a brief introduction about the group. If you're not aware, you are a group of widely network that we're working together to build capacity of future One Health professional like you are, younger generations who are gonna help prevent our world from having something like the COVID-19 again. So the world and the future is in your hand. So we work collaboratively. Right now we are a group of over 100 universities in 8 Southeast Asian countries, including Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, and Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, Myanmar, and the Philippines. So you are part of the larger network together. So we're excited to have you. We have this kind of the regular sessions that we intend to do to benefit you as future leaders in One Health, to help to make our world safer and healthier for our future generations to come. So today we're opening up with many people. I would like to send apologies on behalf of one of the panelists, Dr. Sudarat. She just called me up this afternoon that she was on the trip in the south of Thailand. and she had some accident, a big accident that really difficult for her to participate today in the evening. So with that in mind, just aware of this afternoon. So we're gonna make a change of plan for the introduction for One Health. Dr. Inda will provide it on her behalf, so you don't miss anything. For the international experience folks, that we have Dr. Sudarat, which have many more years than I have, but I also work with so many international, so I'm gonna share my experience. So I'm gonna stand in for Dr. Sudarat for today. So with that in mind, so I pass it back to SEAOHUN to carry the rest of the sessions.
Thank you, Dr. Pat, for your opening remark. And now it is time for the group photo. So if you already downloaded the virtual background, and you can turn off your camera if you are comfortable. And I will ask our program assistant, Maureen, to take over this one. Maureen, please.
Okay, so let me see. I think everyone is downloading their background, and please can you turn on your camera? I'm checking the screen, and let me share the Zoom background link, maybe if for someone who hasn't got it. Okay, I think some are already opening, and some are just not opening my video yet. So maybe can you please turn on your camera and don't be shy, and please show us your beautiful faces. Okay.
Yes, I think if it is you are not uncomfortable, it's also okay. You can keep your camera off, but I think we can wait a little bit more because we still have time, and then maybe in a few maybe 30 minutes you can start the photo taking, Maureen.
Yeah, sure. So I think because people are just entering the room, so.
Right.
So let's do. I recommend us just do it now. Whomever that turn it on, and then if we have time at the end, you can do another round. If you don't want to get interrupted in the middle.
Okay. Okay. So let's start to have a screenshot. Ready? Are you ready? Okay. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Cheese. Okay. One more, please. Cheese. Okay. Okay, nice. Thank you. Okay, I think it's good enough. Back to you, Major.
Okay, thank you, Maureen. So, and thank you all for the participating in the photo session. And you may now close your camera if you want. So moving on to the next agenda, I will invite our One Health professional panelists for your brief introduction, but like Dr. Pat mentioned, Dr. Sudarak unfortunately cannot join. I will skip her and Dr. Pat for this introduction, and then I would like to invite Dr. Phu Pangduk, the Deputy Director of the Center of Public Health and Ecosystem Research at Hat Noi University of Public Health and Coordinator of VCoP for your brief introduction.
Thank you very much. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. So I'm Phúc, a medical doctor by training. I'm at the moment coordinator Vietnam One Health University Network, and also I'm leading for Research Center for Public Health and Ecosystem Research, located in Hanoi University Public Health. So I'm working with more research on public health, and my topic is more related to the health risk, related on water and sanitation and food safety. So it's a One Health approach. It's very keen for me to support for my career. Very good. And I try to encourage for students and the future leader will become its professional One Health. That's why I'm very happy to discuss with all of you today and sharing my experience. And I would like to learn also experience from all of you in all the world, and how can apply One Health from the theory into the action. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Pu, for your introduction. And then lastly, let me invite Dr. Na Indah Ahmed, Senior Lecturer at University Putra Malaysia and Deputy Coordinator of the Malaysia One-Hai University Network.
Thank you very much, Dr. Aichen. So yes, my name is Indah. I'm a lecturer in veterinary public health at University Putra Malaysia at the vet school over here. So a bit of a background. So I graduated in 2007. And then after that, I was offered for the position of tutor, which basically means like a pre-lecturer. So I had to go out and then obtain further my studies to the PhD level before I am allowed or qualified to become a lecturer. And so I went to further my study, obtain an MBSc in epidemiology and economics in Utrecht. And then it wasn't enough, so you still have to continue for PhD. And so went to University of Edinburgh and did, with luck, obtained my PhD in 2016 in infection and immunity. And then I came back and then joined the teaching team under the wings of Prof. Latifah Hassan, which some of you know well as the coordinator of SEAOHUN. And so she also brought me into the SEAOHUN community. There's really nice, well, close-knit SEAOHUN, SEAOHUN community. And so today, here I am, being together, still learning, as what Dr. Fook just said just now. So I am also still every day, as you meet new people, you're learning. And so it's always a chance to learn and relearn, I think, and grow as you go along. So yes, I think that's the introduction a bit from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Indah, for your introduction. So for the next session, I will invite Dr. Indah in place of Dr. Sudara to briefly introduce One Health to our audience who might be new to this topic. So floor is yours, Dr. Indah.
Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. All right, okay, there it is. Oopsie. Okay, so I would begin by giving a quick introduction on One Health. And so I think we all would, if we had a choice, all of us would want to be living in a clean, peaceful, green environment where you don't have any problems to think about, any problems to solve. So you're gonna like live happily ever after, okay? So this is kind of like in an ideal situation. Possibly this was the world, long time ago before human began to kind of like encroach closer and closer as to us. I mean, I think most of us from this region, we are time to time quite, we come across these kind of like photos on social media, on news quite often with regards to deforestation, conflicts between human and wild animal, especially. We've got issues of smuggling illegal wild animals and their body parts. And this is pretty much a common scene and being unfortunately to be reported over and over again. And this is also following the 2019 SARS-CoV virus outbreaks. So many of us, I think part of the society outside of the science, especially world, began to question and began to discuss about what are the factors actually that leads to the emergence of these newly diseases with these fancy names. And a few years before even COVID-19 began, I think in the news as well, at global level, it's quite familiar for people to hear about outbreaks of MERS involving the camels, especially from the Middle East. And then we've got the original SARS, which happened in 2002. And then there's also avian flu, which is still ongoing, and also Ebola. So as you can see in this slide, it's not just the mortality, the deaths, or the hospitalization, the diseases impact that it has on us, but also in terms of economically. So we have seen COVID-19, it was, with the lockdown, economic activities had to stop. And then especially in underdeveloped countries, they were really struggling in terms of trying to make it by day's end in terms of feeding their family members and so on. So it really is a huge public health issue which reached at the global level. And so most of these problems are emerging infectious diseases. They are new. And of course, the impact, most of it happens when it transcends the boundary from the pathogens or the disease, the germs, jumping in over from possibly certain animals into us, the human population. And also, especially when we move closer and closer to the animal population. And so those are basically some of the examples of One Health, the definition which I would share on later. However, apart from emerging infectious diseases, we are also embroiled in these listed examples of issues which all of us are quite probably familiar with. We've got news about food security, whether food is enough or not for the population in a country. Antimicrobial resistance, where antibiotics, for example, do not work anymore. So we've got to develop methods to overcome simple bacterial infections. And then with all the deforestation, environmental degradations, urbanization, transforming these forests, which used to be natural habitats for wild animals, so becoming displaced, and then humans start to populate that area. And then the following cascading effects, including zoonotic diseases began to happen. And then climate change as well. So these are all among the examples of things that we would call as One Health issue. So what is actually One Health? People say One Health, One Health. So it simply translates into a concept that acknowledges the link between these three main elements sharing the same ecosystem. So we've got the environment, we've got human, and also we've got animals, okay? And so that was, this is kind of like being an updated version of the One Health definition, whereby it is more inclusive. So in June 2022, the new One Health definition was given by the new four partnership quadripartite. So we've got the World Health Organization, we've got World Organization for Animal Health, FAO, and also United Nations of Environment Program. So it is an integrated, unifying approach, aims to sustainably balance and optimize the health of people, animals, and the ecosystem. So remember the three circles right now. So right now it gives more upgrade into the definition. So it recognizes the health of all of those elements together, and the wider environment are closely linked and interdependent. So if one things happen in one circle, it may most likely affect or impact the other two circles. And then there's also, when you talk about the One Health approach, so from the concept of recognizing the interlinkedness, we then translate it into approach, because the approach is important because of the complicatedness of the link between the One Health concept elements just now. So if you want to tackle it, you would need involvement from different sectors, disciplines, and also community at different levels. So it's not just necessarily the ones in lab coats. It can be people in the society who have knowledge that can help and share together the knowledge. They come together as one team to tackle these diseases and possibly threats. And as we go along, so why One Health? Why is it now? So we've seen COVID-19 disrupting lives at every single country on planet Earth. So we do not want that to repeat again. And one of the example of rapid response during that time was possibly the development of vaccine, for example, but not one single person can actually do it, So in terms of trying to prepare ourselves, to face these potentially, destructive pandemic from ever happening. And if it were to happen, so we would need to equip ourselves in terms of the response. It needs to be rapid and it needs to be holistic. So how do we ensure that? We have to be inclusive of relevant sectors and people that can help to contribute together. And as for one of the aim of this today's session is part of the future workforce One Health training, realizing that it is very important for a future workforce to be equipped with One Health competencies, knowledge, skills. So that is why we are having this whole SEAOHUN and country One Health University Network. So this is probably familiar to some of you. So I'm just wanting to highlight here that with One Health modules, especially with SEAOHUNs, ones that has been developed, it is a mixture, okay, complementary. So technical knowledge, the knowledge that you have, you gain through lectures, you pair it up with the more hard side of it, so the empathy, the emotional, the culture, beliefs, values, and ethics, leadership, the soft skills, you pair it together so that it will be like a more well-equipped, One Health future workforce. Okay, and just this slide is just to say that we all should be working as a team. Each and every one of us, each and every sector have their own strengths. And if there are any gaps or shortcomings, should then be complemented by expertise or people from the other group that is relevant to that situation. Okay. So these are the 4 parties who had come together to come up with the new One Health developed. So this is a very good model, at the global level. So hopefully this will send a message to everyone, especially for future One Health workforce, that this is a very important aspect that you have to be aware of. And also, towards the end, I think apart from just the health sectors, the sciencey people, so you also need involvement from other people, so economists, politicians, also community leaders, communication experts, some others, and then also each and every one of us play an important role when you talk about handling One Health issue. Okay, so I think, yep, I'm nearly there. So these are among the take-home messages. So One Health is everyone's responsibility. We have to be open and change our mindset that, we should be working together. And then it's actually nothing new. If you come to think about it, you realize that, you also have friends from different backgrounds. You can share to solve a homework together, from that same particular aspect when you are at school, for example. So now it's taking that to another level of where you are trying to address a more complex issues. Okay, and this is shared by for Dr. Sudara, sharing a few of the resources which might be useful for all of us. And yep, I'll end here. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Indra, for your very informative presentation with the example and pictorial. I think it will be a very clear introduction to the One Health for those who are not who are new to the topic, and how you point out that every collaboration is very important, like a multi-sectorial approach for the One Health. So thank you so much for that. So we will move to the next session. So now it's time for the panel discussion, and then we will go through 2 rounds of question and may add more if the time allows. So for each round of question, each panelist will have about 5 minutes for sharing, and then that will be total 15 minutes for one round, followed by the Q&A of each round. And participant, you can drop your question in the chat box and then include the panelist name that you want to direct the question to. So, okay, the first discussion is about our panelists, One Health journey and the experience. So, firstly, let me turn the mic to Dr. Pat first. So I know you have been working for many years in the international development field. So could you please share about your journey and experience to reach this position of the senior professional level?
All right, so thanks for the questions. So my background, if it didn't alluded to earlier, actually all my trainings were in engineering field. So people ask me all the time, what's engineer has to do with public health and One Health. So actually I study all along in different disciplines. So I did my dissertation of the doctoral studies in health modeling. So I did breast cancer simulation, applying information technology to improve public health surveillance. So you think about that, the modeling in terms of the COVID world that we passed through the pandemic. If you see the prediction of how many people, cases that going to be happening, how fast it's going to spread around the world. This is type of the simulation world that I study on. So it's both with the mathematics, computer simulation, and understanding of public health and the infectious diseases. No one can really know it all. So at that time, we are a group of researcher experts in many disciplines, actually working together, including the people from public health, from mathematics, from actuary, computer science for modeling. So it's kind of the, not spelling out One Health, right? But we really need people with different expertise to this type of thing. So toward the end, I was so passionate that I want to be in this area. I'm passionate about health and education from the start. So I came back to join Chulalongkorn universities and teach at the College of Public Health Sciences for a little bit. And then we had opportunities. So this is actually opportunities for young generations like you. If you haven't known or heard, there's 2 fellowship, there may be more now, but United States Center for Disease Control and Prevention, they have the fellowship program. Basically, the actual practical experience that you can apply for non-US at that time, at my time, there's 2 disciplines, 2 programs that's being available for foreigners, non-US. So one of the program called Public Health Informatics Fellowship Program, which is need to the people who apply informatics or information technology to improve public health systems. So that's actually perfectly fit with me. So I was at university teaching a little bit, and I talked with my colleagues about this and say, oh, there's opportunities in the US with that, and it may be a perfect fit. So I did apply. So I went there to USD CDC, Center for Disease Control and Prevention in Atlanta, which is headquarters. You heard of it all the time in the news media during the COVID-19. So I was there practicing how we're going to apply the IT to improve public health surveillance systems. So we was there a little bit, and then one opportunity lead to the next one, and then I hop on afterward, getting opportunities through referral, right? When I was there about ending the fellowship at CDC, actually I was offered to continue on for another 5 years, but at the same time, I know the former World Organization representative of Thailand, he know me. And he thought that the position at helping the Ministry of Public Health for the Global Fund Malaria would be worthwhile. So he dropped me a note, and I was interested in that. So I hopped in to help the Ministry of Public Health a little bit. and then my career led on and on, right? To lead in. So basically, to shortchange, not to bore you in terms of the long career path that I have in different organizations. Basically, if you have to have a passion to do what you like to do, you try to equip yourself with the skill set that you need, not only for the technical one, but you also need to get to know one another. Collaboration, coordination, communication are really extremely critical. Networking, so to know one another. So once you get out in this world to work, you can know that the world is extremely small. You're gonna bump in to the professional and your colleagues of one another. So try to build those bridges, connections, and connecting the dots throughout your career. So once you are from one position to the next, you kind of this is your sphere. In first, it's very small, and you kind of strengthen it up. The power of network and coordination. As the world used to say, we are only 6 degrees of separation. If you go, I know Dr. Inda know others in around the world is saying that about 6 hop, you actually get to know everyone in the world. So that's kind of amazing concept. So I would suggest to be able to build a career path is passionate in what you do. Try to have your technical expertise that you require, and to be able to network with others, practicing your soft skill in terms of connecting the dot, expand your sphere of influence and to the network. So once the opportunity is open, you can hop on it and then seize those opportunities to make the difference in the world. So I think that's the first round that I'd like to share a little bit of that. So back to you, SEAOHUN.
Thank you, Dr. Pat, for sharing your experience in the building the career, starting from the engineering, and then step by step to the public health, and then finally in the leading role of the One Health University Network. Thank you for that. So next, I will turn to Dr. Phu. Having a successful career in the One Health and as the coordinator of the Vietnam One Health University Network, your achievement will be inspiring for the students. So could you please share us the story or how you landed on this field of work? Dr. Phu, please.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me? So yeah, I think that it's a long history from my side. I'm actually a medical doctor by training. After my graduate PhD program in Switzerland in 2011, during the master, it's a PhD program, I learned a lot. It's a new approach. Actually, it's an interdisciplinary approach, and bringing each a different sector working together around the health. So at the beginning, I'm a bit more focused in the human health, bit more focused in the human side only. I'm thinking that is very important. But after the text PhD program in Switzerland, almost our professor, lecturer, and our colleague from all the world, they are sharing the experience. Even they are not really it's a background on human health, but they are different in agriculture, environment, and food system. So by the time I'm a little bit rethinking it in myself, I changed a lot. So how the health is around us. So before we come to healthy, we need the people around us also healthy. Not only the people, also the environment, plant, animal. So that is very luckily after I finished my PhD, I back to Vietnam. We are continue to working for the research project. More it's a health related about the food safety and water sanitation. And it's a concept from Canada coming. It's eco health, or we call the ecosystem to health. So by on project, I also have chance to apply what my knowledge we gain from the PhD program into the action at the community level. So at the beginning, a little bit very hard for me how to working with different people, different background and different level. Even the community member, they are non-scientific people. Some the knowledge idea is totally different with our idea. So that time we spend a lot of time to come to community and stay there with them. It's more time interact and discuss with them and identify the issue with and I'm ready to learn a lot of things from the community member, also the people from different background. And when you're talking about agriculture activity, not only is livestock production, but for other like planting or environmental, how people they reuse wastewater and fish it as fertilizer apply in the field. So I'm thinking about how they can expose any kind of pathogen or hazard and develop the disease. So that's the reason I explore the information and data for the different sector. And I know that it's very important to support for my career. And I'm thinking it's very important that we need really working together as soon as possible at the beginning. In 2011, at our colleague also mentioned it's a One Health upward coming, and USAID bringing a chance to encourage a One Health concept in Southeast Asia. So Vietnam is one in 4 countries involved us, and it's my boss. He actually is a dean of public health university. He requested me to join some meeting on One Health. At the beginning, I'm honest, and I'm not really to understand what it means One Health. I try to attend the meeting, the workshop, and try to learn it from different things. Very surprised a lot of people from agriculture sector at the vet and livestock production, also environmental people, and by how can apply in my career development. So I see that very important if we try to keep and learn small things and try to apply immediately, even during your study in the university, not waiting after you graduate. You go forward at the beginning. During your working or study in your university, you can learn it from a job colleague, from friends, that if they are not the same job background, I think it's very good. And you can open mind to exchange the information or knowledge around your expertise. And so if you open mind, you can talk to them, learn from our friends and colleagues. So that time I'm continue to join the project One Year Workforce Next Gen until now, after more than 10 years. At least we got some it's a succeed. And at the moment, I try to encourage all students from different university, from different background, to learn it step by step, even small. It's very simple on One Health, and through it very specific case presentation. So case presentation here is student not be learning doing by student. So the lecture and the mentor that only the guiding for you. Don't waiting them to give the lecture in the class. They go directly in the area where are you living. So you can explore, you can ask why this might happen. And by on that, you can explore more information and to see very important when you're talking about One Health. The last thing is the first, I think that One Health is own, it's connected, not separately. So beyond its expertise. So from the expertise, you can explore with the other side and sharing the information and exchange. And through that, you know one people, also other people, they can introduce it as it's the right people before you don't know it. Now that's the reason, even it's my friend, they said that you are a medical doctor. Why are you now become it's a vet people? Or what is someone they said me, Dr. Phúc, are you as a vet? Yeah, okay, animal disease or environmental. Okay, no, it's a. I think that health it's everyone, not come for only it's a human health sector. So that for myself, I'm very happy to join this project, and I'm continue to do that, and I'm really happy to working with the student, it's young people, and so you have become a true leader One Health in the future. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Fu, for your very inspired story of like from the human health side became as a medical doctor, and then later like involved in the like environmental as well as the animal health, because all are connected like in the One Health field. So thank you for your sharing your story. And lastly, let me ask Dr. Indra, as a young and well-established One Health professional, I believe your story will be very much encouraged to our students in pursuing One Health career. So can you please walk us through your story? Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Aichan. So I've briefly introduced a bit of myself before, but just to take you back to the days when I was still a small young kid. So I kind of like love and have really love giving care to the stray cats back at the of my house. And so I had to kind of like negotiate with my mom to keep the cats because she wasn't really in favor of that idea. And apparently she gave in. So we brought in the cat to become a family member for the next 10 years. So at that moment, I wasn't really aware or exposed to different options of career out there, apart from just being a teacher, a doctor, a reporter, a stewardess, or, because what's being presented around at that time was just like, there was an internet, of course, during the 80s. So it's quite limited, and it depends on who the teachers, what the stories that they come about, so it really was limited to that. But fast forward, I was in high school, and after taking the grand exams of senior year of high school before you enter to college to prepare for university, I had to I had plenty much of time. So it was like watching Animal Planet on reruns, the channel, and then watching Emergency Vets. And then I thought that this could be my passion. And then I was like, really engrossed into watching it every single day. And I'm like, okay, this is my passion. I've decided that I wanted to become a vet. And then fast forward, then I managed to enter the program and then towards the end of the 5-year program as a vet student, especially in the final semester, I was kind of like start to doubt myself. I was thinking like, is this what I'm really looking for? Because truth to be told, like honestly, at that time, I was really under pressure because of the expectation that you have to perform for the exams. And then because I did not realize at that time, you should kind of like be focusing on your strengths rather than trying to be perfect for in every single thing that you do. So I was really frustrated with myself because I wasn't really good in terms of the clinical sides of throughout my study. And I felt really stressed and under pressure. And then at that moment of time, I was doubting it. And I talked to my academic advisor, which came to me, and then she said that, like every person have their own strengths. And so try to assess yourself and then, choose the pathway which will make you happy. And then towards the end, I thought that, yeah, I got the calling of becoming a tutor, which I mentioned before. It's like a field lecturer in public health. And so that was the beginning to the journey of becoming an academician in a One Health related field. And so I was really thankful to the academic advisor because I realized that I love writing, and I kind of like matched that with the passion for basics of diseases, for parasitology, for bacteriology, and then like the investigative minds. So that kind of like fits in with epidemiology and public health. And so kind of like I accepted the fact that I'm not a co-clinician. So I'm kind of like focusing on the disease investigation aspects. And yeah, And then I went to trainings, and then when I go out for postgraduate studies, that was the first time I see a medical lecturer teaching veterinary students, postgraduate and also undergraduates. And I was like, this is something new, this is something else. And then in 2016, I think there was a course, a postgraduate course in Edinburgh that offered Masters in One Health. And that was also quite new to me. So I did not really realize what all of that was about until I came back. And then I saw SEAOHUN's office. And then I asked around what is that? And then fast forward again, so I kind of like, oh, this is very relevant to whatever that is going around in One Health. And yeah, so with the help of Prof. Latifah, I was pulled into the circle of One Health. So I'm really grateful for that. And yeah, until today. So yeah, that's a whirlwind of how I ended up as an academia in One Health.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Inda. Like, yeah, I can see your passion of the animal, like loving the animal since your young age, and I think there are also like such students in our audience that they are like they have the passion, and then they are not quite sure like which part they should choose, or like what kind of career they need to go forward. And I hope your story can at least help them like can see like, oh, someone like this they like me, they become like in such career and become successful. Yeah, I think this will be very helpful for them. Okay, so I don't see any question at the moment in the chat box, so maybe we can move to the next question, and then let's see again, like we have the question after that. So I will move to the next panel question. So the next discussion is on our panelists, advisors to the students and the young health professional interested in pursuing the One Health career path and not sure where to start. So this time, maybe I will turn to Dr. Inda first again. Dr. Inda, what kind of advices would you like to give the student who want to pursue the academic career relevant to One Health? And what do you think they need to prepare to have a competitive advantage to land their first job? Yeah.
Okay, so yes, to have like a competitive advantage to secure the first job, especially in an academic career. So I would say it really has to come from within you, because I would say academic is quite another world. It's another different set of world where you have to juggle not only teaching per se, but also doing research and also our community outreach, and engagements and that kind of stuff. But I think mainly you have to be driven by the passion, to the curiosity mind, to keep on like thinking and asking. Sometimes we may never know that the idea that came out like randomly while you're bike driving or while you're having your lunch or dinner, it kind of like why is it like this, looking at the food, like where does it come from, or what would happen if the food wasn't prepared, so curiosity of the minds, it needs to wander, let it wander freely. So that is one of the I think not the phenotype, the way that I think if you were to want to end up in academia, I think of course people would say academic reputation, academic achievement, sorry. So but not necessarily meaning that if you're a 4.0 CGPA, only these people are the only ones who would succeed in academia. No, because I've seen over and over again that you of course you have to be responsible with the learning process, taking the exams and tests and revision, but that's not just that. So because you need to be resilient and strong, and like of course you would face obstacles that can be difficult to you mentally and emotionally as you go, because it can be quite a lonely journey sometimes, especially with postgraduate research. But if you are driven by that passion and self-inquiry, kind of like every day, that this is what you would want to do, this is your calling, so go for it. You know, never be, of course, we would feel disappointed if we put a target and we did not achieve it, but at least you have a target and you can always relearn, you know, learn and relearn every single day, then you would grow. You know, it doesn't happen just like this. It will take, you know, some people have a straight line journey, some people have a more convoluted ones, but, you know, never kind of like give up. And then just, I think the main point over here is that you have to have a passion, also for researching as well, as instead of just teaching. And then the other one, more important, another important one is to network with your teachers, with the lecturers of the subjects that you have passion with, because from there you will be able to be then networked or recommended. Because if you were wanted to pursue your postgraduate studies, you would need, for example, letters of recommendation, and your lecturers or your, mainly lecturers would have connection. So if it's a One Health, it's pretty wide. So I would say it's a good chance and good future for that. So I think be friends with your lecturers, don't be afraid of them, and then that would lead to more opportunities for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Inda. Yes, I agree with you. Like with the passion, like you need to have the passion first. Like you need to love what you do first, so that you will enjoy yourself to continue to the whatever journey you want to take. Otherwise, if you are not sure about what you want to do, like please think carefully and find your passion first, and then you will see your way clearly. So next, I will turn to Dr. Poo again. You are the manager and such a great coordinator, bringing many parties to work together to advance One Health in Vietnam, right? So how did you acquire your soft skill, and then what kind of advice you have for our audience in acquiring those skills that you have?
Okay, thank you very much. So it's a very good question related about that, what competency, what my skill. So I think the first we want to know, we need to know where you are. So what you have available. The third thing is more a professional skill. If you have a good enough knowledge and experience with personal skill, it could be confident to sharing it for other people. So that the first thing I think very important, and need to open mind to bring this data or message to our colleague and our student. So when it's open mind, it would be easy to get more information back from them. So they don't feel it correct or not. So any idea, for me, it's not correct or not wrong. It's right from my side, but maybe wrong from it's other side. But when we have a time to debate and discussion around this one idea, it by that we can easy to get more innovation idea and to make some new knowledge. So for example, when you talking with the people working with different sector with us, or they are different background, they are not really to know about the human health issue. Which people, they know very well about the animal health, environmental, but we don't know yet. But we bring this issue, so we have time to negotiate or debate with them. By on that, we can agree together. So this means very, very important. We need to honestly to sharing the information, what we have. And the third one, very important, try to learning by doing. Not waiting when you are take the theory in class, and you have the idea on the recommendation from the lecture, the mentor. We go to take the action even in small thing. For example, you can counting anything around where are you sitting? Too many things around you. So if you counting how many things you can see, you can smell, you can hear, and based on that, you can ask why you can hear this information, why you can count and touching this the thing around you. Based on that, if you don't know, you can ask the friend or the colleague around you. Or maybe if it's good, when you come back home, you can discuss it your family member. So who are it's a very open mind and discussing around the thing. Don't thinking that they don't know anything about the health. So that if you can bring that, you can easy to learn. Why not? What's the question? Why the rice is good for health? Why the pork meat or why the vegetable is healthy for people or not? If for me, it's something it's good, something not good. For example, it's a vegetable. People eating vegetable. If you know that vegetable is safe or not, it's contaminated with some kind of pathogen or contaminated some kind of heavy metal or it's a pesticide. If you don't know it, you can explore some information. If you are not in the human health sector, you can ask the people who are working in the agriculture sector. So by that, you can learn it's a more knowledge experience from other people. And it's how we connecting with different. It honestly in respect, it owns their idea. And by that, keep more frequent communicate with them, not only one time, to make more it communicate. By on that, you can keep the more partnership in such a long time, and they can open and willing to work with us, or even willing to support its knowledge and study with us. So it for me, I'm not really expert about that, but I'm trying to doing not kind of in the theory, but I'm doing through our small research activity, a small project, even in small thing. I don't care it not enough money or not, but any chance, or even it's a different, my background is different with my professor, but I try to come to join with them to learn from them. So one is very advice for students, please come to doing in the field. I know that the public health student or vet student, you have a chance to learn in the community. Anytime, either one day, 1 week, or 1 month in the community, I think it's the best way you learn it on health at the community level. When you come to community, you go there, you have much more chance to approach with the local people, with the local professional, because they are living there. They are more practical people, not like our professor at the class in the university. We are sitting in the class. It's not really to take in the community, the real thing. That's why one way to encourage students when you come to the community, please take some time and make more time to go out to meet with the different people in the community, and by that you can learn and explore, and you can see what happened at the community and identify the issue with the local people, on the local people, what they need to change. If you have knowledge, you can advise to them. Also, the local people, they can advise for us by on it's a real thing. So that I think that it's a very highly recommended for students now, even you are in the university, please take more time to explore and go out. If you are become one health people or public health people, need to go out. Don't sit in the room. They can explore too many things in the nature. So by on that, you can keep and can automatically improving some soft skill like communication skill, advocate skill, how to collaboration, how the leadership to decide what happened with the local people and make more a kind of system thinking, more broader, more deeper. Deeper, you need to get more into a lot of information. So at the moment, for example, from my side, I'm not working only one topic. I'm working with different things. Even it's animal welfare. Before, I don't know anything about animal welfare. But now our colleague, our partner bring this activity, come to discuss with me, and I bring the idea how it's a transmission, the pathogen for the dog or cat, compared to the animal to the human, when you are raising in the family, in the household. I bring these issues, I said, oh, they don't know anything about that. Now we had time to work in animal welfare project, and before I don't know anything. So by all that, I can invite and recommend it, and some of our colleagues and friends working, they are expertise of animal welfare and come to join to work with this project. So by all that, we learn more people, and I know before the people expertise before I don't know anything. So that's the way we are starting. It means that learning by doing, I think is very, very important. So that's all from my side. I hope I'm happy to answer the question later. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Pu. Yes, like we get a very inspiring call for you, like learning by doing, right? Yeah, that's what the student need to apply. And then in the continuous process of the lifelong learning, right? Not only in the classroom, but also in the like practical world to gain the soft skill like communication and networking. And you will learn like not in the classroom, but in the outside world. Thank you for that. So I saw there's some question in the chat box, but we will come back again after this the panel discussion. So yeah, let me go to the next panelist first. We will come back to the question. So let's not, but not the least, let me pass my question to Dr. Pat again. As a person who have been working in the international development for the many years, what kind of advice would you give to the student who want to join the international organizations, and where can they get started on the career path?
All right, so thank you. I try to predict, go to the future. I don't know how many of you are aspiring to be in the international world of working, but generally the career will start slightly later after you acquire some more expertise. It's not going to be immediately. So I see several channels in getting through, so I try to think of something concrete to share with you. First, to get there, in general, in the international organization, you really need to know people. There are a lot of aspects in terms of getting there. So first, you can work on some international organization like SEAOHUN. We have our fellowship program. We partner with WOA, Organization for Animal Health, FAO, Food and Organization, all right, Food and Agriculture Organization that you can get in, apply and get there through the matching process. I think that's one of the unique, I would say, that is a kind of opportunity that you can seize on those. With those, you can also volunteer, right? If you aspire to work in somewhere, you can say that you like this person, this expert in particular. Search for profile, getting to know them, right? If you go attend some conference, just walk up to them, talk to them, say that, okay, I enjoy your work, I like your work, how to be helpful. You can volunteer your time to be a helping hand, and not all will accept that, right? But you can create your own opportunities. Don't wait for things to happen. You can reaching out to people and create your opportunities into those connections. The second one, besides the volunteer and create those opportunities for yourself, there will be opportunities out there, not that many, including the SEAOHUN Fellowship Program. For the UN agencies, not many people know, but they actually have the junior professional career track. That for the younger professional, they actually cap the age group. I don't remember how many years old that they cap. For the young professional, actually apply to be in career path at the UN agencies. So first, when you apply, it's very extremely competitive. Each year they open only a few for a few disciplines to apply and go through the extensive exam and others for the selection. I used to advise some of my friends, junior friends, to apply, and I know that it's very challenging. So it can be those paths. So search for the UN junior professional career track. You may find when you get in, you're likely to be a professional level 1, P1, P2. That's what they are looking for. And once you get in the system, if you are doing a good job, you're going to become there for a very long time. If you really like those, you also search for opportunity. right? I also mentioned about CDC, Public Health Informatics Fellowship Program earlier. This type of opportunities that you can go and apply. And once you get there and you perform, you're likely to be offered to continue in those organizations. That's what I did. I was at CDC. I was offered to extend for additional 5 years because you know who and you did really well. I was with, but I opt for something else. Came back to help my countries. When I was with the UNDP, United Nations Development Programs, I actually know the top person. The second person from the top taking care of the Global Fund program, actually, and we talk and we enjoy one another. So there's a competitive process, but I apply and get in. I also offer a job in New York. I didn't get it. I didn't opt for it because there's also opportunity with SEAOHUN. That's why I'm here. I weren't at New York. So I think that this type of opportunity that you look for and you apply. And lastly, you just have to become a true expert in your areas, and you're going to be invited to join those groups. For instance, this is my own story. So when I came back as a modeler, at that time, this is modeling in Thailand, it's very few. So when the Ministry of Public Health actually looking for modeler to do HIV vaccine simulation model. There's some collaboration of people coming into the ministry and say that, okay, we have the grants, we want to model and see that when the HIV vaccine is really become available, what we can do with it, what's going to be distribution channel, how we're going to do it. So they need the modeler. So with my experience in breast cancer simulation, they look around the people in Thailand at that time when I graduated, the modeling world is really, really unique. So I was tapped on as expert. So I became part of that group. That group have a dialogue with the WHO expert, the people. So I get to know more people. And when they have a workshop and things, so I was tapped on as an expert for the modeling world. So I was invited as a WHO consultant, likely about only a year after I returned and joined the university as faculties. So we will become really a true expert in your areas when this organization, they want to do it. All right, they want the expertise. They normally look for the expertise of the people either in the industry, which is not normally that they look for. They normally look into the universities. You can see in this world that they're going to tap the university as the expert, the researcher, to help drive on the work and the policy making. So in a nutshell, you have to really have your own expertise. Build your own network because my career path is hardly anything that I apply for myself. Is normally to the word of mouth. Hey, this is the job opening. You thought that is applicable to you. Will you be interested? Normally, I just stay still and the opportunity just came to me and knock on my door. Whether you're interested in joining those. So hopefully you build on those things and I think you can land on your first career in an international organization.
Thank you, Dr. Pat, for your much valuable advice and the opportunity that the young professional can look into, and then how important it is to build the networking in this field of work. So I think we finished the question the panel question, and I saw the few questions in the chat box directed to Dr. Inder, but I also saw Dr. Inder already replied to some. So the first question from the Firan O, I believe he is our scholarship alumni from the Cambodia. That he asked, like, do you think this is important to have minimum qualification to choose one health career? I Miss Inda already replied, but anything you want to talk it out to add on his question, Dr. Inda?
And yeah, so essentially, I think if it were for an academic career track, so because the system requires it, and for many institutions that you go to, they require you to have like a qualification qualification in a relevant, especially in a relevant field. So, but that if you are looking ahead into an academic career. However, if you are already involved in a career that that is not academic, and you are interested to go into One Health, there are plenty of opportunities around, especially online courses. As for example, SEAOHUN we're going to have we have the current Global One Health Workforce Academy, so and trainings by the SEAOHUN network members. So that would be like a start for you to kind of like go on and have your first exposure into One Health, and then as you go on ahead, you will further progress into more advanced courses that would equip you to be involved in One Health career. So yeah, I hope I answered your question. Okay.
Yes, thank you. So I will just go through maybe the last question first. We will come back to another one later. The last question we got from the Dinda Hidara. So I would like to thank all panelists. Their speech encouraged me to keep my passion in One Health, even though it is pretty hard for me to pave my way in this field. Like Dr. Inda said, sometimes I feel lonely during this journey. I'm a vet who chose a different career path, not a practitioner, but a health advisor, particularly in health policy. I have to increase my knowledge about public health, and my obstacle is finding a friend to discuss it with. The question for Dr. Inda, can you tell us how you face obstacles during your career journey at One Health? Can you give suggestions on how to keep the spirit of pursuing this passion? Thank you in advance.
Okay, so thank you, Dinda. Yes, I would resonate with you, especially towards my early days. When I was involved in One Health, I had to go to meetings, for example, with representatives from the ministries who are mainly senior officers. And then it's really difficult to make your mark, especially amongst when you don't know them. And it's I think it really humbles you, especially because you kind of like you did not expect it. Sometimes you might feel intimidated, okay, when you have to network with those who are at really top official positions, for example. And then sometimes you may feel a bit left out because you don't you feel like you don't actually fit into that circle. But I think that would take quite a while for you to kind of like gain the confidence. But believe me, once you open up, once you network, once you socialize with them, they would then, realize that your potential, because especially when you are working in terms of health, shaping health policy, this is a very important job that you are doing as a veterinarian. It is, it's very important because whatever that has been decided or will be decided at the policy level will impact the groundwork that is happening to protect public health. So I think the obstacles were just as you saw. It can be a bit intimidating to kind of like talk to sometimes, because people, their personalities are different, and so communication wise it can also be challenging. However, it is something that you kind of have to fight within yourself as well. You have to gain that confidence. After a while, you will be able to prove to yourself that it's not I can do this. It's not difficult. It's something that everybody has also gone through some point in their life, and so we just have to continue with the passion that you actually originally have. So I really hope I answered that question.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Inda. So as we still have like 2 minutes left, I from the Dr. Poo and Dr. Pat also, you can also add on like Dr. Inda thoughts if you have. Yeah.
I thought Fuk was gonna fall first. Anyway, so I mean that how to keep on going. Sometimes it's quite feel odd, right? To be unique, in the things that you do. But I think that we have to really, if you're really passionate in this field, there will be some way that you may feel that what I'm doing here, kind of feel getting lost. All right, am I in the right place or not? But I think that as you try to be patient, right? Try to build on your connections and your careers. Imagine this is the real situation is you are as a student and aspire to be in academic world. For instance, because many questions go to Dr. Indar. So thinking of if you go to academic world, when you go to the conferences. You are so excited to see and to hear what others have to say. Right? This is knowledge. I want to learn about this. I want to learn about that. I don't know. I go and listen. There's so many sessions to choose from. I think that's kind of I recall back that kind of feeling. Zeros in Guardian. Oh, there's a world out there. There's so many things to learn. I like to learn from these people. Oh, this guy, I read his paper or her paper. I like to get to know them, right? So excited. So many sessions. You don't know what to choose. Kind of random, and then you kind of backsided. Try to be listening in and not to engage that much. But as you grow in your professional career, no one can do it all. You're going to be more focused, right? So rather than hopping on the sessions, once you advance a little bit in your career path and you're going to know the track, you have to use your expertise, right? One Health is broad, but you have your own niche expert that you are tackling on. So moving fast forward, you probably going to be feeling, you're not yet there, but you're going to be feeling that, okay, this is the track that I like to really get into depth. So rather than scrambling on attending so many sessions, here's my area. I'm gonna attend all this session. I'm gonna connect to this expert, try to get to know them, try to get to learn about them. So once you know the people and work in this area, you share your own expertise with one another. So you're gonna learn from those things, and then you build a friendship and relationship in your network, and you're gonna start having, I would say that, starting having more friends because you have your peers, someone who passionate in the same area that you are. So initially you can get lost, you don't know which directions, and then you try to find yourself, try to streamline your niche and cater and network the people with that niche. When that's happening, when you go to these conferences, it's like, oh, you go and meet your friends or meet your peer, and you say that, oh, how about you? What do you do in this now in your country? And you share your own experience, they share on that experience, and you build a connection and network around the world. So it's normal to feel that way at the beginning when you try to find your own way. But I hope through the patience and through time, and try to seek those opportunities. And once you find your own niche and your areas and your spheres and your peers of influence, I think you can get there. All right, that's from me.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Brett, for sharing your thoughts also. I thought that the questions, but I think we have the limited time now. We should move to the next session. But the last question, I think, is kind of similar to the question from the TWE. So Dr. Inder kind of already answered the question, so you can read from there. To Rajanadon, our student alumni, I also recognize him. So yeah, so we will move to the next session. So with the conclusion of the panel discussion, we want to request all the participants to fill the feedback form. So we want to hear your suggestion to improve, as well as your preferred topic for the future session. So we plan to have this virtual community or practice webinar on the One Health topic every 3 months. And then your feedback will help us a lot, so please fill that. You can find the feedback form link in the chat box, and we will also send the link to your registered email address, so you can also fill it out later if you want. And thank you very much for that. And before we close, taking this opportunity, I want to introduce one of our latest program. So let me please wait and share the screen. So this is our regional internship program that we just launched. So this program is eligible for the undergraduate students and the recent bachelor graduate from the SEAOHUN member university network. So in this program, you will get the chance to join the on-site internship for 3 to 6 months at the leading institutions and organizations which are tackling One Health challenges in the region. So this year we have like 11 institutions or organizations from Malaysia, Thailand, and Vietnam to host the internship. So for more detail, you can check it out on our website, and then I believe the link is already dropped in the chat box also. So the deadline for application is the 31st March. And so if you are interested, you will need to apply as soon as possible. So just this is just sharing the opportunity for you all. So I think this is, thank you. And this is about time to close the webinar. So let me invite Dr. Bipa Kuruchitan, Executive Director of the SEAOHUN again for the closing remark.
All right, so I don't have much. You hear from me quite a bit already, but I just say thank you for your interest in joining us. As SEAOHUN mentioned, we are trying to shape this type of webinar through our panel experts around the regions. You are part of the wider group of network. It's not only among your own countries or member university in that countries, but we are right now a group of over 100 universities. We intend to be a facilitator and connector among you. Not only you get to network among your own countries, peers, but also get to know your colleagues across the countries. So we hope to shape up the activities that are beneficial to you. So we look forward to hear your comments and suggestions on how we can shape up these sessions or our future programming that are going to benefit and craft you to be aspiring One Health practitioner as well as the One Health leader of the futures. So thank you again for joining us. I know that it's late in the day, especially for some of us in Malaysia. It's already almost 7:30 for that. So appreciate your time, and hopefully you find the sessions useful. All right, so thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Pat, and thank you all the participants joining today's session and our One Health professional panelists for your time and their kind contribution to make this webinar successful. So please follow the SEAOHUN website and social media account for more program announcement and as well as the update. So good evening and good night, everyone, and see you again next time.